Good evening, everyone. So today I wanted to talk about some recent disappointments in language learning that I've experienced. So first of all, I wanted to make an announcement a while back that I'd been applying to a program that would allow me to go to Poland for a couple of weeks. And so I picked up a Polish course and started working my way through it. Now I've done 12 lessons. And I've been picking things up quickly because I can speak Russian. I already know the grammar, the vocabulary has similarities, and so while they're not super close, there are enough similarities to make it a bit easier for me to learn it. All right, at the beginning stages at least. But then I didn't get accepted into that program. Apparently, they had 200 applicants and only took 12, so I was not among the lucky 12. So then I had this Polish course, but I'm not going to Poland anytime soon, so I kind of lost a little bit of motivation to continue with that. Also, I've been planning and working hard to get a research project in Russia. I got in contact. I'm kind of interested in neurology, not deciding between neurology and internal medicine, and so I decided to find this research project. Now I know I'm in contact with a neurologist in Ufa, Russia, which is north of Kazakhstan, and I'm emailing back and forth. I have a project, a good research project to do. I can work a little bit in the clinic there. I can have a good solid 2 months to work on my Russian. Get into the application, and then all these problems between Russia and Ukraine come out. It still might be able to go through, but when I'm afraid I'm going to put together my final application and proposal to my university here to get funding to do an international health project. They'll pay for like 80% of the trip. But the problem with that is that I'm afraid by the time it comes and I try to apply for the visa, there will be economic sanctions, and then Russia might just start rejecting American visas. So that's another disappointment, is that I think politics may get in the way of that culture exchange that I really would like to have later this year. So I had been doing less work on languages in general. Before, I had been reading Master and Margarita. I know I said would start it last year, but I finally got around to it. Not far, 68 pages into it, um, but I slowed down that because someone else gave me a translation of for my birthday. Someone gave me a translation of this Japanese manga in French called, in French, Les Gouttes de Dieu, or the Drops of God, literally. And I looked, and it is in English as well. And it's the story written by a wine professor and this manga drawer, and they work together in order to create a story in order to teach about wine. And it's really interesting. I've really enjoyed it so far. So before I go to sleep, instead of studying languages, I've been working on that. Also, as always, I have no intention on going to China anytime soon. No opportunities really for it, but I'm just interested in learning the language. I enjoy it. So I have finished, at the end of last year, all 90 lessons of Pimsleur. And now I'm going through Assimil, Chinese with Ease. I'm on lesson 21. I'm going to do that tonight. I've been going slow with this too, though, as well, because again, I don't have any sort of pressing need or anyone pushing me to go after it. So I just do a little bit, and at the same time I go back and I'm working on writing. As you can see, in writing, I'm down at I'll just go back and I'll try to write things out. So that's what I've been doing. For writing, I also have in Chinese on my iPhone, what's it called? Program called Memrise, Memrise. I also, if anyone's interested in learning the Arabic alphabet, they have one, Learn Basic Arabic. I plan on doing that when I get around to Arabic, but this is all free. So Mandarin Reading Survival, which again, I've been lacking on this recently, but so you say this is like the review session, and they quiz you. For instance, here's this. signal, which means lid, radical. You can kind of see how it is if you can see that screen. I'm sorry for the glare. So that's a bug. That means bug. This just helps me with my reading. I think Chong is the actual pronunciation. But if I had my volume on, I could do it. That's a small dog. It's also a radical. So it just helps you learn some of the basics of some Chinese writing. And I do that sometimes when I'm bored, like at a bus stop or whatever. Other than that, I finished reading this book that I picked up for like $1 at some Canticle for Leibowitz. My roommate really liked it. It's about a post-nuclear war. I personally didn't care for it very much. It's by Walter M. Miller Jr. It was written in the 50s. It's like a post-apocalyptic nuclear war, and it goes through like history. There's 4 periods where up until a next nuclear war. So kind of interesting in theory, where it takes you through. It goes like back to the dark times, prehistoric, and then like a medieval, a neo-medieval, and then like a neo-modern time, and then neo-futuristic final nuclear war again. But I just didn't really get into the characters that much, so that was that. And that's about all I've been up to. So I'm trying to find a way to motivate myself to get back into language learning. I'm doing medical stuff all the time as well. But maybe try to get back into maybe at least doing an hour to an hour and a half a night. And I'm going tonight, I'm going to leave now, to a polyglot meetup, polyglot bar here in New York City. It's a new group that's kind of meeting up. And I saw last night that they have a meeting here on the Lower East Side, so I'm going to go check it out, maybe talk to some people, and maybe this will be what gets me that motivation to get back into it regularly. And maybe it'll help me focus into like one language, or I'll find people that will motivate me to really help improve my German. I've been playing around, watching a couple times a week a show called Kommissar Rex. I've been enjoying it, but I haven't been doing a lot. So I'm just all over the place. I'm not focused, and that's my problem. I don't have that current focus. And I know that happens to a lot of people with a lot of their interests and hobbies. And so I'm looking to try to channel that, or find a motivation to channel into one spot to kind of see some progress. That's it. I hope all is going well with your studies.